Good morning, beloved twin flames. This is Karen from Mannadelight with another download. Yay. Actually, this one came in a few days ago, and I really wanted to get a few things lined up before I brought this one forth. This was one of those downloads where some downloads come in and it's not necessarily verbatim, like words verbatim being repeated. Sometimes it is like that for me, and this one is that is the case for this one. It was like the words were repeating, where I had to get my phone, get the memo, and type it all out before I even fully woke up. Sometimes it's just I'm waking up with it on my mind, an idea or a teaching, or just perceiving the knowledge that came through. But this one was word for word, so I want to read it first and then I will expound on it. It is unity, consciousness equals union. First I was hearing, learn from the past, live it now, and look forward. So I felt like with that sentence alone, it was just talking about us learning from our past lives, all that we did learn, all that we went through, all of the past lives where we were learning lessons and evolving our soul, not to negate any of those, the past. Even in this life, the past and whatever happened, and taking your learnings from that, being evolved and living it now, and looking forward, moving forward to the future, and not remaining in the past, but accepting now that you're living now and you are looking towards the future. Okay, and then this is the word for word download that I received. When you have love, acceptance, compassion, and forgiveness for all, capital A, capital L, capital L, for all others, you will truly love, accept, forgive, and have compassion for yourself. This is union with self and ultimately your twin. This is unity, consciousness, and union. No judgment, no competition. All, again, emphasizing the capital letters, hold an aspect of yourself. Loving, accepting, and forgiving every aspect of yourself through all. And that's where it ended, but more was coming in regarding that, because then I'll hear those words and I'll write them down, and then, more information gets added to it. And basically the last part of that, meaning that going back up to the very first sentence that I got, learn from your past, ties in with the end of this, which is kind of how it happens with channelings. They'll start out with something and then they'll go back to it at the end of it to reiterate what's most important. So I love that. It was learn from your past. So all hold an aspect of yourself means that in the past, in a past life, I have been the person that I struggle with forgiving, that I struggle with having compassion for and loving and having acceptance for. It would just be with anything. For an example, in a past life, I was, I'm trying to think of something that I would judge. Or that we do judge now. Let's use homosexuality. Okay, good example. So let's say in a past life, I judged homosexuality, or I was like an activist against it. I was one of those people that marched against it and said that, they're all burning in hell, and it's, all those slanderous things that are said against homosexuals. And then in this life, I don't judge it. Like I am now a homosexual. So it was teaching me to, even though I judged it then, so now I am a homosexual, so I can release that judgment. So that's kind of what it's talking about looking into the past. And also the fact of, in this life, I may have trouble forgiving someone because they have killed someone. And I may have been in a past life a murderer. I may have killed many people. In an act of war or in anything, and when I think of that, I think of Braveheart. My God, I don't know what year that was, but they had to fight to the death. And I just remember that movie being really, really gruesome, but it was like they had to do that. And the amount of people that were killed and the blood and all of that was pretty horrific. But knowing that I have been one of these people in a past life that I now judge, or the world judges, makes it easier for me to then accept them, knowing that I have been this person as well. You can't hold it against someone, something that you've done. You don't want to be judged for anything that you've done, even in a past life. Please, so maybe I did kill a lot of people. Regardless of what the reason was, I still shed blood. Don't judge me for that, please, because I don't want that held against me. And it's not. There is no judge and jury in heaven, and it's not being held against you. But yet, as people, we judge everyone for everything. And so that's what I was taking from that. You can't judge and not forgive someone for doing something that you yourself have done, regardless of what lifetime it was. You have to let it go. There is no judgment in the fifth dimension. There is no judgment in unity consciousness. All are loved, all are accepted, all are forgiven. And that is how you find the compassion in all of that is, okay, I don't want it to be held against me. And I'm having compassion for myself and forgiving yourself. There's lots of things that we have struggled with our guilt. Being angelic beings, we have been, oh no, I didn't do that. Please tell me I didn't do that. And we feel guilty for it because it's something that, we've been taught is right and wrong and how we should judge. But that is no more. That is one of the biggest things that the world will come to terms with, is that there is no judgment day. There is no judge and jury. There is no heaven or hell. There is no death. And so with religion being such a huge aspect of everyone's life, regardless whether you say you're agnostic and you don't even believe in God, or you just have dispelled religion. You have dispelled religion for a reason. You have, because you don't like that it's telling you that you've done something wrong. So it still has played a role, and a huge role, in the world's concept. And it is, again, another mind control as far as religion. And that is something I am definitely coming up with a teaching for, because I was born and raised in a very strict Pentecostal Christian environment. And that was one of the first things that had to be dismantled in my life, was my religious beliefs. Of course. And it was, surprisingly, it was not hard for me. I had to get over the judging myself for things, judging myself for my true soul's path, being a lesbian. I had to get over judging myself for having psychic abilities, because, of course, in church you're taught that, that's of the devil. And so I will bring a teaching specifically for that, and releasing your religious beliefs. And it's going to be a pretty big thing that I want to talk about. So I'm going to be bringing that forth, and maybe some sort of healing with that. But going back to this direct channeling, what I was getting with that is that we are all striving for union, of course. And the biggest thing to understand within the twin flame journey is that it is about coming into union with yourself, because your twin is you, and your twin is mirroring you back to you, so that you can come to complete healing and fully embrace who you truly are. We are together already in another dimension, which, multi-dimensional universe and the like. It's very confusing for a lot of people, but just understanding that simultaneously you exist, an aspect of yourself exists on a different dimension within this universe and other universes, to realize that there are, our universe is not the only universe out there as well, is mind-blowing, and it is hard to wrap your mind around. I get that. And that's why it takes a while for everyone to come into the consciousness of the fifth dimension or other dimensions, is you have to wrap your mind around all of this, and wrap your mind around everything that you thought was true is not, and everything that you thought was woo-hoo or hocus pocus is really truth. And so it's flipping everything upside down and learning the truth about it. So, knowing that you're already together in another dimension, you're already complete, you're already whole, there is a higher aspect of yourself existing simultaneously now. So this life is basically an illusion, and you came here to help with the ascension of humanity. And in doing so, you and your twin set up a time that you would come and you would reunite, and raise the consciousness, raise the vibration, and all of those things. And the point is getting you to that point where you fully embody a different dimension, moving past everything that's three-dimensional, everything that's on this physical earth, everything that you thought you knew, releasing the belief system and getting you to the higher dimension and getting you to unity consciousness, which is the fifth dimension. That is union. I'm clear because we don't have a manual. I loved Patricia McNeely's recent video where she held up this manual that she had clearly put over a cookbook, I think, and said, "You didn't get the manual? You didn't get the Twin Flame manual?" No, nobody's gotten the manual. We're doing this, and really round of applause and patting each other on the back. Bake yourself some cookies. We've done amazing by eking our way through all of this. And we knew that we could do it because that's why we took it on. We just knew we could do it. So we have felt our way basically with blindfolds on. We have felt our way through this journey, and nobody has the manual. So I don't know if union occurs when both twins have reached the fifth dimension unity consciousness, or if, since the feminine leads in that respect, if the feminine would need to be fully in 5D unity consciousness, and then she could pull her twin then up. When I'm talking about assisting and everything, when I'm picturing the other dimensions, I always see myself reaching my hand down and pulling others up. So it's kind of one of those things where, and I don't know how that happens, but I do know that you cannot come into union unless you have one or both has adopted completely unity consciousness, because that is union with self, and that would be union with your twin. So I mean, I'm feeling like it's one of these simultaneous things where when you're ready to ascend to the fifth dimension, you've released all of the 3D, but you are in union. And I feel like that's kind of what this download is saying. Then again, like I said, we're just eking all of this out and finding our way, and no one has the manual. But I do know that you must love and accept and forgive and have compassion for everyone, and that means no judgment, and that means no competition, and that's huge. And it's not an easy feat to release all of that, especially, not judging yourself, and then not judging others, and loving and accepting everyone and forgiving everyone. And I struggled in this area, as many others do. It's hard to release judgment of yourself. It's hard when, you've lived this long on this earth, and that has been the thing. You raised in a church, where a pastor is saying shame on them, which is a horrible thing to say. How dare you shame someone? That was one of the first things I released, is any shame when I was coming into healing. So it's a horrible thing, but that's what we've lived in, and that's the ideas and concept that we have adapted to, which we have to release in order to come to raise up to a higher consciousness. And one of the things, I will be honest and say, that I struggled with is judging outward appearance and judging myself. And it was one of those things, I haven't come to full healing and completion on judging outward appearance of myself. Or others. And it was something that I noticed. I was just like, I'm judging other people and their appearance, because I'd be like, the first one, if somebody, was wearing something off or whatever, I'd be like, oh my God, did you see her skirt? I'd be one of those people. So in that regard, I was judging myself in the same light. And I was judging my outward appearance, and I struggled with body image. And I really want to be healed of that. I don't want my body image to be an issue. I don't want how I look on the outside to play a role or be a factor. I don't want that. I want to love myself completely inside and out, and accept myself completely inside and out, and be judgment free of others as well, as far as looks, and that was one of the things I was struggling with. So I was like, God, help me change this. How do I change this? How do I, when I'm looking in the mirror and I see stretch marks or sagging skin or cellulite, because I've struggled with obesity throughout my whole life. When I see that, how can I love it? How can I look at that and love it? And of course, I heard love, because the answer is always love. And I have to choose to love it. If you love it and choose to love it, regardless of its appearance, regardless of anything, that's unconditional love. When you choose to unconditionally love, you accept it, regardless of what it looks like. You're just saying, all right, I love it. It doesn't matter what it looks like. I love my body. Because the truth is, if you're judging it and you want to make improvements, or you think it needs to be improved on, you'll never be satisfied. Your body would never be good enough, because you were always wanting to change it. So you have to choose to love it as it is, because that's the truth of it. You just will always want to change it. There will always be something that you need to tweak, and you'll just never be satisfied with it. But in choosing to love it, you accept it for exactly what it is. And so I was thinking, okay, so I have to put some love glasses on, I just have to choose to see my body and everyone else through the eyes of love. And I've just got to constantly wear some love glasses. So I jokingly got on and I ordered some heart-shaped glasses, which if I can get a picture of myself in them, I will post it with this recording. With the intention that when I got those, with the intention that if I caught myself judging myself or judging someone else, I would go and get them and put them on and then choose. And in doing so, I was choosing to put the glasses on, and I was choosing to look at myself and others through the eyes of love. And then it would be just one of those things where I didn't need to get the glasses. It would be automatic. The choice would just be there. And then it got to the point where, or it will get to the point where I don't need the glasses, or I don't even have to think about it. It's just there. I won't even be consciously making that choice anymore. The love will just be there. And everything is a process. And we all are releasing different things that we have struggled with. But this is the hugest thing, and that is releasing your judgments. Everything gets judged. Everything gets judged, and that is really why there are so many misalignments. For the aspect too of when I faced this when I needed some support. I had moved to my grid point, which was a more expensive location, and I had was looking for a part-time job because I just, I needed to do something part-time to support myself, but also knowing that Twin Flames were finding value and comfort in my twin flame readings, and that, doing the personal readings and knowing that I was a healer and that I needed to offer my healings for twin flames, and just knowing how difficult this journey was, really having a passion to help everyone on this journey, because it was and is a difficult path to choose. And being a rod and staff union, there is that desire already to help everyone else. It's like I'm the mom, which is what a rod and staff union is. It's mom and dad type energy where, you want to help the kids. So knowing that I had that already, I knew that part of my mission was to help twins. And but I needed support. I had been doing my readings for so long, and I was only getting a limited amount of personal readings. So I had noticed some other readers who were charging for their readings 99 cents. Some of them are $4.99 out there, and some are other prices as well. And I got judged so harshly for wanting or needing to charge the 99 cents. And nobody came out and rightly said it, but it was like, if you need money, get a job. And why do you think you should charge? You shouldn't charge for spiritual advice. And so there's that judgment there, that judgment that we shouldn't be receiving. And so that's another concept that a lot are having trouble with, because there's so many people that struggle with asking for money for their services. Now, I know that this is beneficial and I know that it helps, but I have to have some form of energy exchange. I need support. And so then, even I struggled even early on with asking for donations, because it's hard for us with our giving nature and being, and giving in so many lifetimes for us then to receive. But that has to come into a balance. You have to balance into that. That is a balance. You have to esteem yourself at the same time that you have expended this energy and you need to receive for that. At this point in time, money is that energy that is needing to be exchanged, and it's just a fact. And setting that boundary of I need to ask for money. But it was so judged so harshly. It was phenomenal. And if you were not in judgment of that, you would have then seen, oh yeah, she's been doing these readings. I got 99 cents. I love her readings, because my readings were getting sometimes close to 5,000 views. So there's quite a few that were finding value and wanting to watch my readings. And not that I was anticipating, at 99 cents a pop making $5,000. I knew that there was going to be less views on the one that you pay for, because why, when you can just go watch something else for free, was the mind frame. And I knew that there was going to be some that held that mind frame. I got under 50 views. I think I got, because some of them were repeats, because I was questioning that, because the amount of money that I got, which was $18, was not in comparison to the views that was on there. So I asked, and she said, well, when someone buys, I spoke to someone at Google, when someone buys it, they can watch it as many times as they want. So that's why you're seeing all those views on there. So that means that they were no one wanted to, and I know, maybe you didn't have 99 cents. I find it hard to believe that no one has 99 cents, or maybe you just didn't feel like my readings were valuable, or you felt like, Why do that when I can go watch so-and-so's for free? Whatever it was, the undertone of it was judgment. It was judged. Why is she now charging? And I got several comments like that underneath there. So that's another judgment that has to be released. As far as you feeling guilty for accepting money for any service that you provide. And so I didn't do that anymore, and there are some people that say, well, you should still do that. I feel like, you should charge, and it just went over like a lead balloon, and I felt really judged for even asking and doing that. But that's just another example of things that get judged. And, we stand in judgment of people for choices that they make, and, that's not accepting them, and not supporting them. I mean, if you're grateful to someone for the time and energy, you are going to want to give, and so, whatever, you didn't have any gratitude towards it, and that's basically what I was saying within it was, I've been doing these for free. I really need some support at this time while I get back on my feet, because, I was led to a different grid point. I feel like I'm still led to do these readings, and that they're helpful for all. I really could use some support. And then for it to just not be received, and nobody was getting it at that time, that it's okay to receive. It's okay to ask for money. It's okay to get paid. And so it was judged. It was still being judged at that time. But that is one of the requirements, is that you have to come into balance where you're giving and receiving simultaneously. And that is balancing within yourself, which is union with self. So it's another one of those aspects that has to be balanced. And just another thing that gets judged readily within the community. So, yeah. So, and that's another reason too that I felt like I needed to just switch things up. I am going to be doing an oracle reading, but as far as these full spread readings, I am not going to be doing those. I'm feeling called to do something different, to talk about the downloads that I receive, really, really honing in on what's holding everyone back, and giving the truth that my higher self brings forth in downloads. If you'd like a full spread, which looks at the masculine and feminine energies and taps into your personal situation, you can book a personal reading, and I will do a full spread for you. But other than that, I'll do oracle readings because everyone loves them, and I feel like they are helpful. And I love the cards. I do. I love the cards, and I love doing personal readings because it really, really does tap into your energy and what's going on with you. I've never had anyone not resonate to any of my readings. So I really can tap into what's going on in your dynamic. I always give lots of clarity. It's a full video reading where I am pulling clarifiers and getting and I'm channeling your higher self and your guides, because I asked them to come in, and giving you clarity on your situation, guidance, what they would have you to do to move forward in your journey. And that's the way it is as well with our sessions. Jen and I doing our healing sessions and our packages. When you connect to us, we don't leave you hanging. We give you everything that we get, everything that we have. all information on this subject. When you connect with us, it's not like we're leaving you out in the dark. There's follow-ups. There's articles. Like if we had a session and you were struggling with this, and then we see this really great article regarding whatever your issue is, we're going to email it to you. So we're very giving in that respect, but there has to be an energy exchange. And so that's why we've set up some prices for our sessions and readings. It's just that simple. But we do, when you connect with us, we stay connected to you. It's not as if we do something for you and then you never hear from us again. You're constantly connected to us, and we're constantly helping you. And it is important for you, if you are not a Rod and Staff Union, to connect to a Rod and Staff Guardian Union, because we have laid the groundwork, the foundations, and done the behind the scenes necessary energetic work, and have done that all of our lives. And we're here to help you, pull you up. Reach down and pull you up. Okay, so that's the download. That's the information that I have about how the readings are going to go. And be on the lookout. I am going to do an oracle reading for April, just kind of see what the energies are for April. Tomorrow is April 1st. So I will be doing that. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for those that do send donations and those that do book readings. Thank you so much. It is supporting me so that I can continue along my mission and path, and that is to continue to help twins come into union. And I so appreciate it. And I hope this is beneficial. Please like and share and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. But share this information. It's crucial. It's crucial information, and it will help you get into union quicker by understanding that it is about unity. I love you very much. I'm always here. I leave my information below. Namaste.